Hello, my name is Kyle Koteski, and our group consists of two members, Chris Noaker and myself. And we're both mechanical engineer technology students from Purdue University of South Bend, and we're going to talk about project management with solar production. Here's the log frame for the solar panels. It goes from most important to least important, and goals is the most important and inputs is the least important. For goals, it is to demonstrate how solar panels can be an alternate and economical power source for consumer home use. The purpose of our project will save consumers money on energy bills and be more economically friendly. This will also eliminate the power companies' control of the energy market. The outcomes: we will deliver a YouTube video to show the effectiveness of benefits of using solar power energy. We will also hold informational meetings at home shows and provide informational handouts of the options of the solar power use. Inputs: each member of the team will need to perform research on benefits and functionality of the solar panels. They will also need to design an informational handout and learn how to upload videos on YouTube, and assign tasks for each member of the team, and schedule due dates for the portions of the project.
The purpose of our project is to provide information on solar power and the means to obtain solar power panels for consumer use. This is a way to have a positive impact on the environment, and the consumer will have the ability to control their part in the energy market. We will provide the consumer with information on the benefits both environmentally and financially of solar power. We will also provide information on where to get solar power panels and how it would fit into your home or workplace. Some current customers' data will be found on how effective solar panels are. The efficiency of solar panels will be calculated on how much power is being put in by the sun and how much is being produced into useful energy. We will deliver a YouTube video to show the effectiveness and of benefits of using solar power energy and provide informational handouts of the options of solar power use. A PowerPoint will be made with details on the solar panels and the results from using them. We will research the tax laws and payment laws on solar use and provide insight on what would change, and continue to push for solar alternative energy. Our group will discuss the differences in any research and collaborate to resolve the issue. Some of the risks are legislation lowering or reversing the benefits of solar power, so much so that it deems it not economically realistic, or government actually may regulate the solar power that is produced.
Here's the project scope. Project scope description. We will provide consumers with information on the benefits both environmentally and financially of solar power. We will also provide information on where to get the solar power and how it can fit into your home or workplace. This will be a step-by-step guide that will walk the consumer through the entire process to make it easier and faster. There are multiple types of solar panels. We will show the difference in each type and pick the best one that we feel will do the job for consumers. The project deliverables. We will deliver a YouTube video to show the effectiveness and benefits of using solar power energy. We will also provide informational handouts with options of the solar power use and how it can tie into your home or office. We will find out how much the solar panels cost to make them and the average price that they are sold for. We will find out the average power use of a household consumer uses and find the best fit for the consumer's house. The project acceptance criteria. Before the installation of the solar panels, the federal, state, and local laws need to be known to understand the limits on solar panel use. After posting the YouTube video, we will provide feedback to those who either have questions or may have suggestions on items. This will allow our project to become better.
For each consumer, we will have the financials and objectives for the specific case before the installation to ensure they have time to make an educated decision on if it will work for their needs. One major constraint is laws. These are changing often. One year the financial benefits of solar power is great, and the next year the law could be passed that reduces the benefits. The cost for consumers is sometimes an issue, as the solar panel installation may be very costly. In some areas of the world, the solar panels will not work as efficient as other places. This may cause consumers to reconsider buying solar panels. We are assuming that people will see the environmental benefits to solar power. In most cases, the financial benefits will be greater than grid power. However, in special cases, they could cost slightly more. In this special case, we assume the environmental benefits would outweigh the financial burden. Once the solar panel is installed, we will assume the energy created each year will be the same average for years to come.
Here's the stakeholder management and communication strategy. So for each stakeholder, they have to answer power interests, common strategy, what, when, how, who, and impact assessment. So the first one we have is consumers. Their power interest is, do consumers understand the benefits of switching to solar power over grid power? The common strategy is to provide information on the benefits of solar power through informative handouts and emails. What the financial and environmental benefits of solar power? When will it happen? Start communicating as soon as possible. How? Informational pamphlets and emails. Who? Marketing and sales team. An impact assessment to give consumers more incentive to buy into solar power. So the second one we have is installers. Their power and interest is, will solar install companies have the training and manpower to make a fast turnaround installations? Their common strategy is to provide training to installers to ensure fast and proper install. And what? To provide training, plan, and regulations. When? Start communicating as soon as possible. And how? Meetings. Who? Project managers. The impact assessment to ensure panels are installed with the highest quality. The third one we have is solar design, panel design and manufacturers. The power and interest is designs and manufactures solar panels for consumers. The common strategy is contact the sales teams. The what is convey consumer and our personal needs to relate to the design of the panels. When? Start communicating as soon as possible. How? Meetings. Who? Marketing and sales team. And impact assessment to be able to provide consumers with quality solar panels at a competitive price.
The fourth stakeholder is the government. The government provides benefits and regulations on solar power use. We will persuade the government to continue to provide tax breaks for solar panels to increase the benefits for the consumers as well as the environment. We will propose a tax break plan for solar power use. We'll do this as soon as possible by meetings with the government. The marketing and sales team will be holding the meetings. And this is to give the consumer a better tax break that will provide additional incentive to purchase solar panels. The fifth stakeholder is the shipping and handling. The manufacturers need to ship out the solar panels to the company that installs them. Provide shipment to the installers to make the job easier. Shipment from the manufacturers to the installers. When a solar panel is waiting to be shipped, we'll begin the meetings. This marketing and sales team will hold the meetings, and this is to allow transportations of the solar panel kits. The sixth stakeholder is the manufacturer of the whole solar panel kit. They will put together the kit with the right size battery, DC power, converter to AC, mounting brackets for the roof and the ground, and the right size wiring. This allows the installations of panels much faster and easier. They will put together a kit into one box for installers. This will be done when a consumer has ordered a solar panel kit. This will be done through meetings with solar panel manufacturers and installers through the marketing and sales team. This is to get everything situated for the installers and allows the kits easily to install. The seventh stakeholder is the environmental specialist. They calculate at what angle the panel needs to be installed at. Also, they check the environment to make sure solar energy is even possible. They make the installation of the panel easier. This will allow the consumers to know if their location is okay for solar energy. It gives the installers the information for installing. This will be done when the location is determined on where to install. This will be done through meetings with marketing and sales team, and it allows the kits to be installed easily.
Here are legislations with solar panels. These are kind of good to know if you're thinking about buying one. Some might have positive and negative effects towards purchasing them. So the first one is Act of 2005. It was the USA, and it was to provide affordable and reliable alternative energy. So you get a tax credit for the installation of an alternative energy source, and so this is to your benefit. The next one is Senate Bill 500. It was the state of Indiana in 2017, and it gives restrictions on homeowner associations, guidelines to solar panel installation. So this gives guidelines to install and location of solar panels. The third one is House Bill of 1624, and it was the state of Indiana, 2017. It was to provide specific rules concerning customers, suppliers, and purchase contracts. The actual impact is to make Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission apply specific rules concerning customers, suppliers, and purchase contracts. The fourth one is Senate Bill 309. It was the state of Indiana, 2017. It was to end net metering of private alternative energy sources. This will prevent owners to sell back the use of energy they produce. The only option is to sell back all the energy produced at a low cost and buy back the energy the owner needs for a higher price. So this kind of does it. This is a negative effect because you can't just use it for yourself. You have to be connected to the grid and give them all your energy from the solar panels, and then they give you a small amount of price for that, and then you have to buy back for whatever price they want to give it to you, which it would be higher than what you sold it for. So the next one is Renewable Electricity Standard Act. This is federal, 2015, and it established rules and standards for the credit issues. Provides standard credit for energy trade.
The sixth legislation is the Residential Renewable Energy Tax Credit, initiated by the federal USA in 2015. The intent is to allow taxpayers to receive 30% tax break on their solar equipment. taxpayers had to buy the system by certain dates to receive 30%. Percentages slowly decreased over time if you bought later. The actual impact is it gave taxpayers intent on buying a solar panel by receiving back from the government. The seventh legislation is the Solar Rights Act from California in 1978. The intent is to stop any restrictions by homeowners association. This prevented them from increasing the cost of the system or limiting the efficiency of the system by 10%. The actual impact is it gave the homeowners freedom to use solar panels without having to go through the homeowners association. The eighth legislation is South Carolina Proposal Bill, similar to 3079 from South Carolina in 2017. The intent is it exempts consumers from paying property on solar panel hardware. The actual impact is it gives an incentive to buy solar panels. This will not allow your house to cost more in taxes. The ninth legislation is the Renewable Energy Law from Ohio in 2008. The intent is it requires power companies to produce 12.5% renewable energy of the total power created. This will go into effect in 2027. The actual impact is this will allow solar panel companies to have an increased demand in production, which will cause more research in renewable energy. The 10th legislation is the Energy Policy Act of 1992 from Federal USA in 1992. The intent is it created directives and revised utility laws to increase and improve clean energy. The actual impact is it updated energy codes and provided incentives to guide the nation in the move to alternative or more energy efficiency.
Here's the work breakdown structure chart and deliverables. So the category we're doing it on is solar panel power, and that can be divided into 3 subcategories, and that's informational handout, YouTube presentation, and promotional email. This is on level 1. So then this can be divided into another subcategory, which is level 2, and this is under informational handout. This is collect information, and then design handout. On YouTube presentation, it's create slideshow and post slideshow to YouTube. And then for the promotional email is collect information and create an email template. And a few of these have another subcategory, which is level 3, and this is work with graphic designer, which is under design handout, and prints handouts. And then also for the create an email, promotional email, you have to send out the emails too.
We will be creating an informational handout. We will research information that will provide the benefits of solar power. Use that information to clearly show the benefits and guidance on the next step to take to get to solar panels. We will work with a graphic designer to make an effective handout that outlines the needed information. The milestones is creating a handout that would outline the financial and environmental benefits of solar power. It must look professional and quality written to support solar energy. We must have the handouts created before the presentation. This will allow us to send handouts in the mail when the consumers want more information. Below is the budget that we calculated that it would cost to make these handouts.
Here's the work breakdown structure dictionary. And this is the second category, level 1, and its YouTube presentation. The description of the work is research information that would prove the benefits of solar power. Create a slideshow of information to clearly show those benefits and guidance on the next steps to take to get solar panels. Post the slideshow on YouTube to get a larger target audience. And the milestones is creating a slideshow that would outline the financial and environmental benefits of solar power. The due date of this is November 19th, 2017. The quality requirements: the slideshow must look professionally displayed. Acceptance criteria is slideshow must not have any spelling errors. It also should not have too much information on each slide. And so the cost for this would be, for creating a slideshow, you would need a computer, and it would take 3 hours to make this slideshow, and $30 per hour, so $90, and so that's the total of that. And then posting the slideshow to YouTube, you also need a computer and 1 hour to do it. $30 per hour, so that would be $30.
We will also be making an informational email. We will research information that would prove the benefits of solar power. Create an email stating information to clearly show those benefits and guidance on the next steps to take to get solar panels. We will send this email to the Michiana residents. Milestones are creating an email that would outline the financial and environmental benefits of solar power. The email template should look professional, and it should make the customers want to find more about the solar panels. The email should not have any errors, and the email should be checked by multiple people to ensure that no mistakes are made. Below is the budget to create the email.
Here's the project budget. For each of the work packages, a total amount is found, and in order to find it, you have to estimate how many hours each activity might take and add into the cost per hour, and then a total cost is found for each of the activities, and this adds up to 360. Then you have to add into account the material cost, so it's $20, which makes it 380. And if you wanted a better estimate, you can have different total costs. So for the optimistic, which reduced the costs, is 280, and most likely it's 350, and then pessimistic is adding more cost into it, the average, and it's 420. So the mean of it, the average of these three numbers is 350. The PERT estimate is 350. This makes it a better estimate usually, but in this case it's the same as the mean. So for the second one, the same thing is done, but done separately. So total cost is found, it's 120. There's no other expenses, and its grand total is 120 still. And then the optimistic is 90, most likely is 120. The pessimistic is 150, and the mean of these three numbers is 120, and the PERT estimate is 120. For the third one, they're all added up, and it's 210. Then there's no labor or other expenses, so it will be the same. So then the optimistic is 150, most likely is 210, pessimistic is 270, the mean of these three numbers is 210, and the PERT estimate is 210. So then you can add up each of these columns of the grand total, the optimistic, the most likely, and then the pessimistic, and then the mean, and the PERT, and you get these numbers. So this is the grand total for the project, and it's 710, and then the optimistic is 520, most likely is 680, pessimistic is 840, the mean is 680, and the PERT is 680. So that's the budget. Here's the human resource plan. So the staffing management plan, staff acquisition. The project team will cover most of the pieces of the project. However, a graphic designer will be needed to complete the informational handout. Staff release. The South Bend project team will have on staff for the duration of the project. The graphic designer will be on contract and will be released at the time of completion of the handout. The team will meet to talk about how the presentation will be set up. A presentation will be made later in November. Resource calendars. The graphic designer contract will be worked through with them beforehand. The duration of the work should be about 4 hours or no more than 1 day. The presenters in the presentation will have about the same amount of time. Since there are only 2 presenters, each presenter will have half of the presentation. In the future months, the graphic designer may have to add cleanup details in the handouts and emails if the solar industry changes slightly. Training needs. The graphic designer will need to be trained and given needed resources to effectively display the information that is needed on the handout. The presenters will need to practice their presenting skills and what they need to talk about the project. Rewards and recognition. A graphic designer will be paid as per contract and have their logo on the back of the handout to show their work. The project team will be rewarded with their hourly pay as well as experience they have received through the project. Regulations, standards, and policy compliance. The project team will research and provide standards and regulations in the alternative energy market. This will explain clearly to the consumers so they will be able to know what they can and cannot have in their residence or workplace. Safety. We will use safe practices in all processes in the project and follow all guidelines of equipment used. OSHA guidelines will be followed during this project also.
We will be hiring a project manager. He will oversee the project and ensure each step is done on time. He will be able to delegate work, prioritize work, manage scheduling, provide necessary leadership, and all team members will report to the project manager. His responsibility is to manage the project timeline, assigning employees project, and provide leadership in conflict and confusion. His qualifications: he should be a certified project manager, should have basic computer skills, communication and social skills, and leadership skills. He should be proficient in Microsoft Office Suite and research and basic understanding of electrical power.
Here are the roles and responsibilities of an engineer. They need to provide technical knowledge of solar alternative energy. Their authority is to report what is needed for an individual project and report needed resources and costs. Their responsibility is to design solar power system for consumer use. Their qualifications are BSEE, basic computer skills, ability to design electrical power systems. Their competencies are proficient in Microsoft Office Suite, electrical grid, off-grid power.
We will be hiring a financial accountant to ensure money is accounted for and allocated. His authority is to manage all financial aspects of the project. His responsibility is accounting pay for employees, pay for materials and equipment. His qualifications: he should have a business accounting degree and advanced computer skills. His competencies should be proficient in the Microsoft Office suite and financial analysis.
The roles and responsibilities of a meeting coordinator is that they need the authority that helps maintain deadlines of the project. Their responsibility is schedule meetings when it is needed and make sure that the handouts, emails, and presentation will be ready when the deadlines come for them. The qualifications for them is they must know when the team needs to meet to talk about technical items about the project, and the competencies are able to lead meetings and manage time for some financial needs.
We will be hiring a graphic designer. His authority is to make design decisions on the handout project. His responsibility is to design an appropriate informational handout with the information given. He should have a bachelor's degree in graphic design and experience in needed graphic design computer programs. He should be able to self-start projects with given information and limited supervision.
Here's the project organization chart, and our team is the solar power team, and the one in charge is the project manager, and the ones underneath him is engineer, financial accountant, graphic designer, and meeting coordinator.
This concludes the presentation, and we hope you see the benefits, both financial and environmentally friendly, to solar panel use.